Attention passionate Baltimore Ravens fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Baltimore Ravens' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Baltimore Ravens fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS, and Baltimore RAVENS fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. We're hearing some pretty explosive rumors circulating around the league, and if they come to fruition, they could seriously shake up the AFC North, and honestly, the entire conference. The buzz is that the Philadelphia Eagles, who are currently in a bit of a rebuild mode on the offensive line, might be looking to ship out one of their key pieces, Landon Dickerson, to the Ravens. And this isn't just some small trade. It's being talked about as a blockbuster, with major strategic implications for both teams. So let's unpack what's going on here. The Eagles, sitting at a respectable 6-3 but with a line that's been pretty vulnerable, allowing 38 sacks so far this season, which is the third worst in the league, are clearly in a bit of a cap crunch. They're trying to rebuild to position themselves for the future, and that means making tough decisions. According to league sources, Philly might be willing to part ways with Dickerson, the all-pro guard who's just 27 years old and has been a stalwart on their line. The deal being floated involves the Ravens sending a first-round pick in 2026 and a fourth-round pick in 2027 in exchange for Dickerson's services. Now, this isn't just about acquiring a good guard. It's about transforming the Ravens' interior offensive line, which has struggled at times with injuries and inconsistency. With Stanley out for 4 games due to an ankle injury and some guards performing below expectations, adding a player like Dickerson could be the kind of move that pushes Baltimore's offense to another level. He's a top-tier blocker, with a PFF grade of 85. One so far this season, ranking him in the top 5 among guards. His pass blocking is solid at 81. 4, and his run blocking is elite at 89 too, that's third in the league. He's allowed just 15 pressures and only 2 sacks in 415 snaps, and his EPA per run with him on the field is plus 0.27 compared to minus 0.11 when he's not. That kind of efficiency boost can't be overlooked, especially when you're trying to keep Lamar Jackson comfortable and explosive in the pocket. This move could really be a game changer for the Ravens, especially considering how much they rely on Lamar's mobility and the run game. With Derrick Henry leading the charge, averaging 5.1 yards per carry for over 900 yards this season, having a stable, reliable interior line is crucial. Dickerson would allow Lamar to have more time to make those precise throws, boosting the team's EPA pass from around plus 0.20 to potentially plus 0.33. That's a significant increase in offensive efficiency. Plus, with Dickerson anchoring the middle, Baltimore's run game could become even more lethal, especially in tough conditions where pass protection is vital. But this isn't just about the offense. Defense and special teams also benefit from a more stable line. Baltimore's front 7, which has already sacked opponents 26 times this season, could see even more pressure from a stronger interior. And let's not forget, adding a player like Dickerson would give the Ravens a boost in third-down conversions, making those crucial late-game drives more manageable. Historically, when teams have added dominant linemen mid-season, it's often a catalyst for a deep playoff run. Think of the impact Jason Kelce had when he arrived in Kansas City last year, boosting their run efficiency by over 18% in the playoffs. The Ravens could be looking at a similar situation. Now, why would the Eagles consider trading Dickerson? Well, their cap situation is not ideal. They have only about $4.2 million in cap space right now, which isn't enough to make significant extensions, especially for players like Saquon Barkley, who's looking for a deal around $26 million a year. Trading Dickerson, whose contract runs through 2028, would free up a lot of money, roughly $15 million, that they could then use to extend Jalen Hurts or bolster their secondary. It's all about smart cap management and drafting young talent to fill the gaps, just like the Giants did last year during their rebuild. And speaking of Hurts, the Eagles' quarterback, he's had a solid season but has struggled somewhat under pressure, with a passer rating of 83. 2 when facing blitzes or pressure. Giving him more protection could be the key to unlocking even more of his potential down the stretch. Plus, acquiring draft picks for future use helps Philly rebuild their offensive line with younger, cheaper talent. Rumors are swirling that they're eyeing multiple draft assets to target wide receivers, aiming to recreate a rebuild similar to what the Giants did in 2023. Now, back to the Ravens. This potential acquisition could be the piece that elevates Baltimore from a good team to a true Super Bowl contender. With Lamar Jackson playing at an MVP level, with a passer rating of 89. And leading a dynamic offense, adding a player like Dickerson would be the perfect complement. It would solidify their interior line, giving Lamar more time and space to work with, which in turn opens up the run game even more. Derrick Henry, with his 920 rushing yards and 5.1 yards per carry, would become even more dangerous behind a stronger line. That combination of elite blocking and explosive skill players could turn Baltimore into an unstoppable force in the playoffs. And let's not overlook how this move could impact the betting odds. Currently, the Ravens have plus 400 odds to win Super Bowl LXI, but with a move like acquiring Dickerson, those odds could improve dramatically, potentially dropping to plus 200. That's a massive shift. Having a dominant interior lineman as a true X-factor in the playoffs could help Baltimore neutralize top-edge rushers and pressure teams into mistakes. Especially in cold weather games in November and December, having a solid offensive line can be the difference between a deep run and an early exit. Of course, this is all speculation for now, but the signs point to the Ravens being very interested in strengthening their front line, and acquiring Dickerson would be a strategic move with long-term implications. It's a classic example of a team recognizing the importance of line play in playoff success, much like how the best teams have built their rosters over the years. The Ravens are no strangers to making bold moves at the deadline, and this one could be their biggest yet, potentially setting them up for a dynasty run. Looking at the bigger picture, this trade could redefine the AFC landscape. The Ravens, with a revamped offensive line, could become even more formidable, making them a favorite to reach the Super Bowl. Meanwhile, the Eagles, by trading away a key piece like Dickerson, would be prioritizing their future rebuild, focusing on draft picks and cap space. It's a classic case of two teams at different crossroads making moves that could have ripple effects for years to come. So, Ravens fans, what do you think about this? Are you excited about the possibility of landing a player like Landon Dickerson? Do you believe this move could push Baltimore over the top? Or do you think the Eagles are making the right call by rebuilding and focusing on the future? Either way, this trade talk is heating up, and it's definitely something to keep an eye on as we head toward the NFL trade deadline. This kind of move, if it happens, would be a clear signal that the Ravens are all in on a deep playoff run. It would show that they're willing to make bold, aggressive moves to secure their spot at the top of the AFC. The AFC North is already tough, with the Steelers, Bengals, and Browns all vying for supremacy, but adding a player like Dickerson could give Baltimore the edge they need to dominate for years to come. It's exciting to think about how this could change the division, the playoff picture, and even the team's long-term outlook. And now, Baltimore Ravens fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential blockbuster? Do you think the Ravens should go all in and make this deal happen? Or do you believe Philly should hold on to Dickerson? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Ravens community. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Baltimore Ravens news and let's keep this conversation going. We're all in this together, supporting our team every step of the way. Let's go Ravens!